Blessings, Wellness Jim here. Today we're going to be doing sauerkraut, and it's fairly easy to do. We did this jar last week. We did it on Thursday and tried it Monday or Tuesday. It was pretty good already, believe it or not. So the smaller you cut it, the finer the cut, the sooner you can eat it and enjoy it. And I also use a mandolin, and you just take your cabbage leaf, even when there are leaves like this works really good, and you just run it across there and you'll get this real fine cabbage, and that's why it'll ferment faster. Or you can even buy, it's called angel hair cabbage. You can buy a couple bags, because what you're going to want is approximately 20 ounces of cabbage. So earlier I took my head of cabbage, took the outer peels off, laid it on the table, cut it in half, and then once you get it cut in half, always make sure the flat side is down so it doesn't pivot on you when you cut it, because we'd hate to see you get hurt taking out the core. Once the core is out, you're cutting it into quarters, and then you can either cut the quarters manually by hand with a knife, or you can use a mandolin. Or you could actually use, I'm sure there's a lot of food processors that have a nice fine shredding device that you can use. So once you get your 20 ounces of cabbage, I put 2.5 teaspoons of pink Himalayan salt on there, and I've just been massaging this here the last few minutes. And you can see, look at all the water coming out of that. And that's how you make sauerkraut. So we're going to start packing this jar here shortly. Last week we did it in the regular ball jar. Today we're going to do it in a wide mouth, which is going to be easier for us. So, let's start packing. These wide mouth jars are really nice because you can get your hand in there, quite a ways down. And this isn't meant to fill the jar completely full. You do it that way on purpose to allow for, because the liquid will tend to creep up on you, up on the jar. And we're going to weight this down too, so that's another reason you're not attempting to get this jar completely full. So there's our juice. Now what we're going to do is, earlier I took some of those excess cabbage leaves and I cut out a rough design like this lid. And you're going to work that cabbage down there so that you don't have any leaves up the side or shreds up the side. And you're going to put this in here like this. Or you can overlay a couple of those. And then when we put this plastic lid there, because you don't want to be using metal, and see how that juice comes way up on there? That's what we're looking for. So now I have a weight right here, and what that's going to do is that's going to keep constant pressure to keep that cabbage submerged. And you can use a lot of different things. You can actually use cheesecloth, you can use an old t-shirt that's real clean, or a dish rag or whatever, and we're going to cover this so that gas can escape but you won't get contaminants in it. By the way, the jar, your hands, all that should always be real clean. So now what we're going to do is put this on here to keep contaminants out. That's going to keep pressure on it all the time. And there you go. That just goes in the corner someplace where it's out of your way. And at 5 or 6 days, you can try it. It'll already be good then. But, if you can go the whole month, it's really going to taste great. Until the next time, Wellness Jim.